What is happening inside the European Union today, and why has one proposal suddenly become the center of attention across the entire continent? Why are European institutions discussing a new framework that could significantly change how countries move equipment and personnel across borders? And most importantly, what does this mean for regional stability, long-term cooperation, and Europe's view of its own security? These questions are becoming increasingly relevant after the European Commission introduced a proposal that many analysts have already described as one of the most ambitious policy ideas in recent years. It is being called the beginning of a military Schengen, a concept intended to simplify cross-border mobility for military units and transport inside the EU. But what exactly stands behind this idea? Why did EU officials present it now? How do different member states view the plan? How could this proposal shape the future of European policy, not only in terms of security cooperation, but also infrastructure, logistics, and relations with neighboring countries? To understand the importance of this development, we need to take a closer look at what the EU is proposing, how this plan may work in practice, and what reactions it has already sparked, both inside Europe and beyond. Let's break down the details. At a press conference in Brussels, European Commission Vice President Henna Virkkunen confirmed that the EU is proposing the first harmonized set of rules for military mobility across the Union. According to her statement, the plan aims to establish clear, unified procedures that would allow cross-border transfers of equipment and personnel to be authorized within a maximum of 3 days. This would represent a major shift from the current system, where each country applies its own regulations, often leading to delays, lengthy approvals, and logistical constraints. The European Commission suggests creating a coordinated framework that consists of simplified customs rules, unified authorization procedures, standardized technical requirements across borders, logistical routes that are pre-approved for rapid movement. Media reports indicate that the plan involves building or upgrading land corridors, airports, and seaports that could serve as key transport routes during major emergencies or serious crises. The intention is to reduce movement times for equipment and support units from the western part of Europe to the eastern regions, from several weeks to a matter of 3 to 5 days. EU officials emphasize that the proposal is not an indication of preparations for confrontation. Transport Commissioner Apostolos Tzitzikostas explained that the idea should be understood as part of broader readiness and long-term strategic planning. He stated, "We want peace, but a desire for peace means being prepared for difficult scenarios." This comment reflects a trend inside the EU towards strengthening crisis response mechanisms. In the past few years, European institutions have increasingly focused on infrastructure resilience, cross-border cooperation, and the ability to act collectively in situations where rapid coordination is required. Later in the day, the Dutch government confirmed that 8 countries have already signed a memorandum supporting the creation of a specialized mobility zone for Central and Northern Europe. This suggests that a core group of EU members views the initiative as a practical step toward improving continental coordination. However, debates are expected when the European Parliament and the Council of the EU begin reviewing the proposal. Some states traditionally prefer a cautious approach to any form of integration that touches on defense-related logistics, while others support deeper harmonization. The concept of a military Schengen is not new. In 2023, Lieutenant General Alexander Solfrank, a senior NATO logistics official, encouraged the alliance to prepare key transport infrastructure in advance so that support could be mobilized more efficiently if the bloc ever needed to activate its collective defense mechanism. European policymakers have also raised concerns about the capacity of roads, bridges, and rail networks to handle heavy equipment. A number of technical assessments found that many routes would require upgrades to handle large transport convoys. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov commented on earlier discussions regarding military mobility by saying that European institutions do not always consider Russia's stated security concerns. He also noted that regional stability requires adherence to the principle of indivisible security, which Russia has repeatedly emphasized in diplomatic discussions. The proposal will likely spark intense debate in EU capitals, as it raises several important questions. How quickly can EU members reach consensus on unified procedures? Will significant investments be required to modernize infrastructure?